Hi everyone, I'm Mike Mixon from Keyboardamerica.com and welcome to our Tyros 5 Song of the Week and Buttons class. Now, one of the things we're going to do now in this video is learn all about your vocal harmony and how to use it, how to set it up, step by step to get the best sound coming out of your voice through your Tyros 5. Okay, in the upper left side on your Tyros 5, you'll see it says mic and vocal harmony, vocal effect, talk, vocal harmony type select, that's VH type select, and mic setting. Now this is going to be easier than it looks and you're going to get close-ups on everything. So what I want to do is make sure my vocal harmony button is on and the vocal effect is on. And we're going to go from there. The next button you push is going to be this VH type select. Push that and let's get a close-up of the screen. Okay, so this is the window you're going to get, and as you can see there's 10 choices on this page. You can change your pages, of course, any way you want. They're all in there, and these are standard vocal harmonies without any effects on them. And you're going to want to put some reverb effect on it because it just makes your voice sound so much nicer. Now what we're going to do is, if you look at the top where it says vocal harmony, right next to it, it says synth record and user. So if I tab over synth record, user, and you see I have some in my user and you're not going to have any in there. They're going to be blank. So we're going to take them from this page, edit them, and then they'll show up in my user page with my settings on there. So let's get started with the first one. Okay, so now the mic's on. You can hear one voice, and if your accompaniment button is on with your styles, you need that. So accompaniment has to be on because it has to know from your chord what the notes are going to be. So if I strike a C chord and here you have one voice, now I have two voices, and there's your standard duet. Now let's edit it and have a little fun and make it sound great. Peter Bartman taught me this trick, which is really awesome because there's about $50,000 worth of reverb and effects just in the Tyros 5 alone. So it's pretty interesting. Right here it says edit, setup. So the top button's for setup, bottom button is for edit. So I'm going to edit. There it is. Now as you see, there is vocal effect here. There's reverb right there. But there's a pretty cool little trick with this that's probably not in your owner's manual. So you can adjust the reverb here, and now you have no reverb. Now you have more reverb, and it sounds good, but it doesn't sound like the best it could. So what we're going to do is right here where it says tempo and delay, we can use the buttons or the wheel because it's highlighted. So if I use this button, it highlights it, and you can see there's a lot of stuff in here. Peter told me about this romantic reverb, which is the first one. Now, you would think to adjust your reverb here, but no, that's not the case. Here is where it says lead. So as I go up in lead, I like mine right about 38, and it probably sounds like there's more echo than it actually does in this video because I've noticed that. It's not as heavy live as it is on this video. So I can be anywhere I want there. There's my reverb, and you strike that chord again. There's my little reverb, and it's right there. Okay, and one more thing before we jump out of this page. The direct access button is going to become very important to you. I'm going to show you how to use that in my video on direct access, and we're going to see that how much easier it is to get to this page right here. So we're going to teach you that in the direct access video. So before we leave this page, it says save right here, and that's on the I button. So you simply want to save this, and as soon as you save it, that user page comes up automatically with the other ones that I have in mind, and yours are going to be blank, so you won't have anything there. The bottom row on your button is what you want to push to save it again, and let's get a good look at that. Right here, bottom button, save. Now a title comes up called a standard duet. You can add to it if you want, or change the name to just duet if you wanted to, by using the typewriter now, which you've learned in my other videos, and then just push OK. Now executing, and it's done. So if I go to my vocal harmony again, you're going to see that it will be on that user page. So there it is, standard trio, standard duet. This one put it before and moved the standard trio from this side to that side. Doesn't matter what order they are, really, it'll work just great for you. So now when you turn your vocal harmony button on, you're going to be on this page. It automatically defaults and comes up on this page when you turn your Tyros on. Just use your tab button, go over to user, and these are the ones that I've already set up. And you can see Alpine Girls, Country Rock, Mary and Bob, Rock and Roll, standard duet, standard trio, and I'm actually going to let you hear these so you can see how different they are. Alright, this is very easy. You hear a little reverb in my voice. And of course, if you want to talk, you could just go up and touch the talk button, and that takes most of the reverb off, so everybody can hear you without the reverb. There we go, back on it again. So we're going to hit our vocal harmony type button, and once they're stored in here, of course, you're going to go to your user page. So let's start out with Alpine Girls. Pretty cool title. If you're striking a chord with your accompaniment on, that's how it knows the harmony. So, here it is in C. So I have some girls there. Here I go from F. So it really figures it out. Country rock, you can hear that. Here's your country rock. And this country rock is great for anything. And you can even take the reverb down if you want, very simply. In that edit button again. So if I went to edit and I turned my reverb down from 40 to 18, a lot less reverb. Don't forget, it's the button that says lead, not the one that says reverb. And make sure you have your romantic reverb on. Now let's listen to it this time. Here it is with that sound. So you can really hear a difference there. And you can actually resave that if you wanted to. The next one I'm going to do is rock and roll. Now this is going to be different. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. So it gives you that stuff there. Your duet. Here's your duet setting. Standard trio. Here's a standard trio. So that's just really, really awesome. And let's try it with a song. Now, before we do that, direct access button is really awesome to use. If you have a second pedal on your Tyros, the way I do, my second pedal is set to turn off and on the vocal harmony. Yours might be set for the one finger chord, because that's how a lot of you use it. But you can always add a third pedal, and you can turn your vocal harmony off and on with that pedal instead of reaching up across the Tyros. So basically, if you hit direct access and your pedal's hooked up, if you just push the pedal, it'll bring up the right screen. And that's really cool. That's what the direct access does, and you're going to have a deeper video on that later on. So anyhow, there's your standard trio, and let's try it with a song. Okay, so the first song I'm going to do, Will You Love Me Tomorrow? And You can use vocal harmony off of the MIDI files that you have or as you're playing live. So we're going to do it live, and I went into Pop and Rock. I went to page 3 and picked Easy Pop, and the best intro for this song, We Used to Love Me Tomorrow, is right here, intro 2, and I like to be on variation B on this one, so let's roll with that and see how it sounds. Now, I've got my foot pedal set up to turn the vocal harmony off and on, so I just turned it off so I can start, and you'll hear it kick in. Okay, now let's try it with a MIDI file, and we'll do maybe a Sinatra piece, big band piece. Okay, if you have your memory stick in, I'm going to hit the talk button. If you have your memory stick in, you're going to press the 1 button under the song recorder. It's going to bring up the page with the 5 songs in your Tyros. But I'm going to tab over to USB, which is my stick. Go down on my file, click my name, and I now have hundreds of songs that are MIDI files that I can sing with. So I'm going to choose Young at Heart, and I'm going to transpose it down 3. And at this point, I'm going to hit Channel. I'm going to turn off track 4, which is the top 4 button. That gets rid of the lead note, so I'm going to sing it instead of playing the lead note. And you can also play over top of that as well. So 4 is off. So right now I'm going to turn my talk button off, get a little reverb. I'm going to press lyrics. It's going to give me the words of the song right on the screen. Tales can come true, it can happen to you. If you're young at heart, or it's hard you will find to be narrow of mind. If you're young at heart, you can go to extremes with impossible schemes. So there you have it. Push the talk button. There you go. You've learned how to create your own vocal harmony and get the effects going, and you're ready to go now and have some fun. So stay tuned. This is Mike Mixon from Keyboardamerica.com, wishing you a happy holiday, and we'll see you soon.